we're almost 100% fucking ready. I think we found the issue now. Please. There we fucking go. We did it, guys. Holy shit, we're geniuses as fuck. Stream settings. And why is this stream private? Hold up, y'all. But today I went to the gym. Low key, I think I may have found out some methods on optimal chiefing, right? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, optimal chiefing? I feel like optimal chiefing can only occur once you're low-key stretching. Like, bro, I stretched, right? Or I was like low-key faded some yesterday. And so we hopped in today and we were like, yo, we finna stretch. So we stretched and dead ass life was fucking peak. Hold up, y'all. Sorry. And then, hold up. So we are going to the place the ICV in a bit. Ja. Hold up. Oh, but like, other than like, bro, I got unfaded from stretching alone. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this shit's kind of crazy. Like, I didn't know you could even get unfaded. Like, getting unfaded just like seems like such a crazy concept. Like, BT dub guys, we're gonna get unfaded. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what is that? What does that even fucking mean? Hold up, y'all. We're putting on the hat. We're gonna, read some fucking philosophy in the not the Pokemon, the Super Mario Odyssey hat. I've never played Super Mario Odyssey, so this is like low-key some high-level LARP. And I guess that's okay. Wow. When a fucking Void reposts your videos, so you just fucking blow them up. Alright guys, here we go. I hope I'm unbanned though from TikTok Live, because that was one of my main issues, is being some banned on TikTok Live. Like, bruh, who the fuck wants to be some banned? Alright. So today we are on, let me get my pencil out. We are on letter 8. And we are going to be going through some letter 8 today. Let's hope that this shit is some gas on some real ass shit. And then we're going to stream with Paigey after. So let's put an alarm on my phone for some 40 minutes. So that my clothes can fucking dry. Am I even charging my vape? No, I'm not. Here we go. Letter 8. Are you, of all people, you write, really telling me to avoid the crowd, to retire from the world and find contentment in a good conscience? Where are those stoic rules of yours that call on a man to die in harness? Come now, do I really give you the impression that I advocate a life of inactivity? I have only buried myself away behind closed doors in order to be able to be of use to more people. With me, no day is ever whiled away at ease. I claim a good part of my nights for study. I have no time for sleep. I just succumb to it, keeping my eyes at their work when they are heavy-lidded and exhausted from lack of rest. I have withdrawn from affairs as well as from society, and from my own affairs in particular. I am acting on behalf of later generations. I am writing down a few things that may be of use to them. I am committing to writing some helpful recommendations which might be compared to the formula of successful medications. Okay. The effectiveness of which I have experienced in the case of my own sores, which may not have been completely cured, but have at least ceased to spread. I am pointing out to others the right path, which I have recognized only late in life. When I am worn out with my wanderings, avoid I cry. Whatever is approved of by the mob, and things that are the gift of chance. Whatever circumstance brings some welcome thing your way, stop in suspicion and alarm. Wild animals and fish alike are taken in by this. Let's read that back. Let's run that back. Whatever is approved of by the mob and things that are the gift of chance, whenever circumstance brings some welcome thing your way, stop in suspicion and alarm. Wild animals and fish alike are taken in by this, or that inviting prospect. He's talking about like baiting them in to their lives or whatever. Do you look on them? Wait, what's up, man? What's up, Done to Live TTV? Do you look on them as presents given by the fortune? They are snares. Anyone among you who wishes to lead a secure life will do his very best to steer well wide of these baited bounties. Hold up. Do you look on them as presents given you by fortune? Hold up. How's streaming going today? We just started stream right now. We're reading. It's going good. How's your day going, man? They are snares. Anyone among you who wishes to lead a secure life will do his very best to steer well wide of these baited bounties, which comprise yet another instance of the errors we miserable. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Wait, let me restart this. Which comprise yet another instance of the errors we miserable creatures fall into. We think these things are ours when in fact it is we who are caught. Wait a minute. So the argument was, anyone among you who wishes to lead a secure life will do his very best to steer well wide of these baited bounties, which comprise yet another instance of the errors we miserable creatures fall into. So that's the argument right there. We think these things are we think these things are ours when in fact it is we who are caught. Damn, so I dropped you a message on Discord and you haven't been responding. I know I haven't been responding to you. I don't know, you deadass seem fake as hell, so I'm really not gonna DM you back. Yeah, like at all. Like yeah, please stop DMing me. Bro, how do you feel about LARP Madoka movie? Yo, I'm not LARPing the Madoka movie. What the fuck is we talking about? That track leads to precipice. That track leads to precipice. Life on the giddily level ends in a fall. Once more over, prosperity begins to carry us off course. We are no more capable even of bringing the ship to a standstill than of going down with a consultation that she has been held on her course, or of going down once and for all. Fortune does not just capsize the boat, she hurls it headlong on the rocks and dashes it into pieces. Hold up. Fortune is so he describes Fortune as a girl, and the track leads to precipice. Life on that giddily level ends in a fall. What the fuck? Once more over, prosperity begins to carry us off course. How does prosperity carry us off course? We are not more capable even of bringing the ship to a standstill than of going down with the consultation that she has been held on her course, or of going down once and for all. Fortune does not just capsize the boat, she hurls it headlong on the rocks and dashes it to pieces. So just because we think we're fortunate, fortune is just like really nothing. The fuck? Cling therefore to this sound and wholesome plan of life. Indulge the body just so far as suffices. For good health, it needs to be tested somewhat strictly to prevent it from being disobedient to the spirit. Your food should appease your hunger, your drink quench your thirst, your clothing keep out the cold, your house be a protection against inclement weather. It makes no difference whether it is built of turf or of variegated marble imported from another country. What you have to understand is that thatch makes a person just as good as a roof as gold does. Wait. What you have to understand is that thatch makes a person just as good a roof as gold does. I would be expecting your response on Discord. You don't listen, dude. Spurn everything that is added on by way of decoration and displays by uncertainty, unnecessary labor. Reflect that nothing merits admiration except the spirit, that impressiveness of which prevents it from being impressed by anything. If these are the things I'm saying to myself, if these are the things I'm saying to future generations, don't you think I'm doing more good than when I go into court to enter into a recognizance on someone's behalf, or stamp my seal on a will, or lend my assistance by word or action in the Senate to some candidate for office? What the fuck? Those who appear inactive are, believe me, engaged in far more important activities. They're dealing with matters divine and human at the same time. But the time has come to make an end, and in accordance with the practice I've stated, to make some disbursement on this letter's behalf. For this I shall not draw on my own resources. I'm still turning over the pages of Epicurus and the following saying, one I read today, comes from him. To win true freedom, you must be a slave to philosophy. Okay. To win true freedom, you must be a slave to philosophy. A person who surrenders and subjects himself to her doesn't have his application deferred from day to day. He emancipated on the spot, the very service of philosophy being freedom. Quite possible you'll be demanding to know why I'm... Okay, wait up. We're waiting for this next... This part says, the Roman Senate was the most senior decision-making body of the Roman state. Okay, that's just the definition of it. Post of quaestors, the power of the Senate was significantly constrained under the emperors. Okay, we're gonna go back to know why I'm quoting so many fine sayings from Epicurus rather than ones belonging to our own school. But why should you think of them as belonging to Epicurus and not as common property? Think how many poets say things that philosophers have said, or ought to have said, not to mention the tragedians or our native Roman drama, which has a serious element in it, well, and stands halfway between comedy and tragedy. Think of the quantity of brilliant lines to be found lying around in farces alone. Think of the numbers of Publilius verses that really ought to be spoken by actors wearing the tragic buskins. Buskins? What the fuck is a buskin? Genuinely, the fuck is some buskins? Instead of barefooted pantomime actors, I'll quote one verse of which belongs to philosophy and the same facade of philosophy that I was occupied with just now, a verse in which he proclaims that gifts which chance bring our way are not to be regarded as possessions. If you pray a thing may okay, so this is the quote. If you pray a thing may and it does come your way, 'tis a long way from being your own. Okay, so if you want a thing to pull up in your life and like, what the fuck? I recall you're expressing the same idea a good deal more happily and succinctly. What fortune has made yours and is not your what fortune has made yours is not your own. Okay, that kind of is like that's kind of crazy. So if you wish for something and it comes to you, that thing is not actually yours since you had a wish for it. So fortune had to give you that. And then we're going to go back. It says what fortune has made yours is not your own. Okay, that's a really crazy point I did not think about prior. Whoa. That is different as fuck. Let's go back to the next page. I'm drinking my tea. We drinking my tea. There we go. My fucking beverages were tasting yummy. We're going back to the fucking page. We're going back to the book. Okay, so we got to read from the ending part. What fortune has made yours is not your own. And the next part says, and I can't pass over that everything happier expression of yours. And I can't pass over that even happier expression of yours. The boom that could be given can be withdrawn. This being from your own stock. I'm not debiting it into your account. Okay, wow, we can really just... So this is just saying... Damn, so like the fortunateness that you can be given from a person can also be withdrawn as fuck from it. Like it could just be gone. You can lose it like that. So that I think that low-key accounts for anything really, not just with you know, like the examples that they're using in this book. A letter, I think this is 9. Yeah, 1x is 9. You desire to know whether Epicurus is right in one of his letters in criticizing those who maintain that the wise man is content with himself and therefore needs no friend. This is what Epicurus objects to in Stilbo, and those who believe that the supreme ideal in life is a mind devoid of feeling, or as we say, impatience. Wait, is this, I don't know how the fuck to say this fucking word. Impatience. We are bound to involve ourselves in ambiguity. If we try to express in a single word the meaning of the Greek term apatheia by transferring it into our word impathientia, for it may be understood in the opposite sense to the one we wish. With people talking it to signify the man who is unable to endure anything that goes badly for him, instead of what we mean by it, the man who refuses to allow anything that goes badly for him to affect him, consider then whether it might not be preferable to call it a mind that is invulnerable or above all suffering. Okay, so for it may be understood in the opposite sense to the one we wish, with people taking it to signify the man who is unable to endure anything that goes badly for him. Instead, what we mean by it, the man who refuses to allow anything that goes badly for him to affect him. So basically, like, if you just low-key think like, nah, I'm low-key some good as fuck, like, I am some fucking fine, nothing matters, we're low-key like living it up, it's GG's, like, he can't suffer if his life is already some shit. And the difference here between the Epicurean and our own school is this: our wise man feels his troubles but overcomes them, while their wise man does not even feel them. Oh, hold up. The difference here between Epicurean and our own school is this: our wise man feels his troubles but overcomes them, while the wise man does not even feel them. So he says that their school, an Epicurean school, is that the people who are following Epicurus, they don't even give a fuck. They're just so fucking chalant about it. They're just like, it's whatever. Like, it's dead ass some, like, who gives a shit? Like, who fucking cares? Like, they're literally like Dilligaff. That's what I'm getting from this, that these people are dead ass some Dilligaff. We share with them the belief that the wise man is content. Wait, we share with them the belief that the wise man is content with himself, nevertheless self-sufficient, though he still desires a friend, a neighbor, a companion. Notice how self-contented he is. On occasion, such a man is content with a mere partial self. If he loses a hand as a result of war or disease, or has one of his eyes or even both put out in an accident, he will be satisfied with the remains of himself and be no less pleased with his body, now that it is maimed and incomplete, than he was when it was whole. But while he does not hanker after what he has lost, he does prefer not to lose them. And this is what we mean when we say the wise man is self-content. He is so in the sense that he is able to do without friends, not that he desires to do without them. Okay, hold up. That's a banger. He is so in the sense that he is able to do without friends, not that he desires to do without them. When I speak to his being able to do this, what I am saying in fact amounts to this: he bears the loss of a friend with equanimity, not that he will then be without a friend, for it is his to decide how soon he makes good the loss. Not that he will then be without a friend, for it is his to decide how soon he makes good the loss. Just as Phidias can carve another statue straight away if he loses one, so our wise man, with his skill in the art of making friends, will fill the place of someone he has lost. I suppose he will want to know how he will be able to make a friend so quickly. Well, I shall tell you, provided we agree that I may make this the moment to pay my debt and square my account so far as this letter is concerned. I shall show you, said Hicarto, a love philtre compounded without drug or herb or witch's spell. It is this: if you wish to be loved, love great pleasure is to be found not only in keeping up an old and established friendship, but also beginning in building a new one. So this method's how to get a friend. Low key though, I wouldn't even want to talk to some motherfuckers. Like, bro, some of these people out there deserve to not be fucking talked to at all. And I'm just like, I would rather watch a pig orgy than be friends with y'all. I would rather watch a pig orgy than be friend with some of y'all. Like, dead ass. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Genuinely on some real ass shit. Hold up, we're gonna highlight something else. Wait, but what does he mean by a debt? Who does he owe stuff to? Who does this guy owe? Because I'm trying to like make sense of it. Like, who the fuck could this guy low-key be some talking about? There is the same difference between having gained a friend and actually gaining a friend, as there is between a farmer harvesting and a farmer sowing. Okay. So there's a different definition that he has that is different from when he refers to like a friend and then like a dead ass friend. So there's like a friend. I feel like you can use the word acquaintance and we're talking about that type of friend, and then there's like a friend. Like a W man's. Building up a new one. There, okay. The philosopher Atalius. Wait a minute. The philosopher Attalus used to say that it was more of a pleasure to make a friend than to have one. In the same way, an artist derives more pleasure from painting than from having completed a picture. When his whole attention is absorbed in concentration on the work he is engaged on, a tremendous sense of satisfaction is created in him by his very absorption. There is never quite the same gratification after he has lifted his hand from the finished work. From then on, what he is enjoying is the art's end product, whereas it was the art itself that he enjoyed while he was actually painting. So with our children, their growing up brings wider fruits, but their infancy was sweeter. Yeah, I mean, but like, who the fuck wants to talk to fucking kids though? Like, that's the only downside about kids, is that there's really nothing fucking to them. Like, I know they're like little ass kids and it's not their fault. But it's just like, who the fuck wants to fuck with y'all? Y'all are boring as shit. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. To come back to the question, the wise man, self-sufficient as he still desires to have a friend, if only for the purpose of practicing friendship and ensuring that those talents are not idle, not as Epicurus put it in the same letter. For the purpose of having someone to come and sit beside his bed when he is ill, or come to his rescue when he is hard up or thrown into chains, but so that on the contrary he may have someone by whose sick bed he himself may sit, or whom he may himself release when that person is held prisoner by hostile hands. Anyone thinking of his own interest and seeking out friendship with this in view is making a great mistake. So being a friend is a mistake. We're gonna go on to the next page and see what he has to finish about this. They began. He has secured a friend who is going to come to his aid if captivity threatens. At the end, clank of a chain, that friend will disappear. These are what are commonly commonly called fair weather friendships. A person adopted as a friend for the sake of his usefulness. So these fair weather friendships, a person adopted as a friend for the sake of his usefulness, will be cultivated only for so long as he is useful. I think we kind of know that one though. Then this explains the crowd of people that cluster about successful men and the lonely atmosphere about the ruined. The lonely atmosphere about the ruined. Their friends running away when it comes to the testing point. It explains the countless scandalous instances of people deserting or betraying others out of fear of themselves. The ending inevitably matches the beginning. A person who starts being friends with you because it pays him will similarly cease to be friends because it pays him to do so. If there is anything in a particular friendship that attracts a man other than the friendship itself, the attraction of some reward or some will counterbalance that of the friendship, what is my object in making a friend? To have someone to be able to die for, someone I will follow into exile, someone for whose life I may put myself up as security and pay the price as well. The thing you describe is not friendship, but a business deal. Huh? I don't agree with that. What the fuck? Yo, he's tweaking dick. This guy is bugging. Is this Epicurus or is this fucking Seneca? We're gonna read this bar again. This guy's fucking tripping. Business deal. What the fuck? Wait a minute. We're gonna low-key keep looking into it real quick because this is kind of confusing me. Looking to the likely consequences with advantages as its goal. There can be no doubt that the desire lovers have for each other is not so very different from friendship. Yeah, agreed. You might say it was friendship gone mad. Well then, does anyone ever fall in love with the view to a profit or advancement or celebrity? Okay. Damn. Actual love in itself, heedless of all what considerations, inflames people's hearts with a passion from the beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go piss. Hold up, that's. Oh, we back. Ugh. We just peed it up, guys. We are so back. No, wait, but low-key, Seneca might be spitting bars. Unironic. This might be fucking bar spit. Even though I personally don't agree with what the fuck he's saying, I can agree with him. Because relation. There's no difference of a relationship and a friendship when you put it in this perspective. Like, you know, I like that he said it was, like friendship gone mad. Actual love in itself, heedless of all others' consideration, inflames people's hearts with a passion for a beautiful object, not without the hope too that the affection will be mutual. How then can be nobler stimulus of friendship be associated with any ignoble desire? You may say we are not as present concerned with the question whether friendship is something to be cultivated for its own sake. But this, on the contrary, is exactly what needs proving most. For if friendship is something to be sought out for its own sake, the self-contented man is entitled to pursue it. And how does he approach it? Wait a minute, we're going to go back. But how does he approach it? In the same way as he would any object of great beauty, not drawn by gain, not out of alarm at the vicissitudes of fortune. To procure friendship only for better and not for worse is to rob it of all its dignity. The wise man is content with himself. A lot of people, Lucilius put quite the wrong interpretation on this statement. They have removed the wise man from all contact with the world outside, shutting him up inside his own skin. We must be okay. Low key, I'm not gonna lie, this is giving off like I don't fuck with people vibes. But I kind of get the point though, because like you can only really be in charge of yourself. So like with other people there, like what the fuck? Like what do you do? We must be quite clear about the meaning of this sentence and just how much it claims to say it applies to him so far as happiness in life is concerned. For this, all he needs is a rational and elevated spirit that treats fortune with disdain. For the actual businesses of living, he needs a great number of things. I should like to draw your attention to a similar distinction made by Chrysippus. The wise man, he said, lacked nothing but needed a great number of things, whereas the fool, on the other hand, needs nothing, for he does not know how to use anything, but lacks everything. We're gonna save that one. That one's. So this is the Cepharigus interpretation of that same fucking quote. The wise man, he said, lacked nothing but needed a great number of things, whereas the fool, on the other hand, needs nothing, for he does not know how to use anything, but lacks everything. The wise man needs hands and eyes and a great number of things that are required for the purpose of day-to-day life, but he lacks nothing, for lacking something implies that it is a necessity, and nothing to the wise man is a necessity. Self-contented as he is, then he does need friends, and wants as many of them as possible, but not to enable him to lead a happy life. This he will have even without friends. The supreme ideal does not call for any external aids. It is homegrown, wholly self-developed. Once it starts looking outside itself for any part of itself, it is on the way to being dominated by fortune. But what sort of life, people may say, will the wise man have if he is going to be left without any friends? When he is thrown into prison or stranded among foreigners or detained in the course of a voyage in distant parts or cast away on some desert shore. It will be like that of Jova. It will be like that of Jove while nature takes her rest. Of brief duration, when the universe is dissolved and the gods are all merged in one, finding repose in himself, absorbed in his own thoughts. Such is more or less the way of the wise man. He retires to his inner self in his own company, so long in fact as he remains in a position to order his affairs accordingly to his own judgment. He remains self-content even when he marries, even when he brings up his children. He is self-content, and yet he would refuse to live if he had to live without any human company at all. Natural promptings, not thoughts or of any advantage to himself. Hold up, what the fuck? Yo, this is a damn. So basically, how can one even have a fucking wife or kids in this? We are born with a sense of this we are born with a sense of the pleasantness of friendship, just as of other things, in the same way as there exists in man a distaste for solitude and a craving for society, natural instincts drawing one human being to another. So too, with this, there is nothing inherent in it that stimulates us into seeking friendships. The wise man, nevertheless, unequaled though he is in his devotion to his friends, though regarding them as being no less important and frequently more important than his own self, will still consider what is valuable in life to be something wholly confined to his inner self. A lot of this is just a definition. Like, a lot of this part is just, he will repeat the words of Stilbo, the Stilbo whom Epicurus letters attack. My bad. When his hometown was captured and he emerged from the general conflagration, his children lost, his wife lost alone, and nonetheless a happy man, and was questioned by Demetrius, asked by the man, known from the destruction he dealt out to towns as Demetrius the city sacker, whether he had lost anything. He replied, I have all my valuables with me. There was an active and courageous man, victorious over the very victories of the enemy. I have lost, he said, nothing. He made Demetrius wonder whether he had won a victory after all. All my possessions, he said, are with me. Meaning by this, the qualities of a just, a good, and an enlightened character, and indeed the very fact of not regarding as valuables anything that is capable of being taken away. We are impressed at the way some creatures pass right through fire without physical harm. How much more impressive is the way this man came through the burning and the bloodshed and the ruins uninjured and unscathed. Does it make you see how much easier it can be to conquer a whole people than to conquer a single man? Yeah, I've heard. Wait a minute, I low-key heard that one recently. Does it make you see how much easier it is to conquer a whole people than it is to conquer a single man? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, Marmar, thank you for the heart. I didn't think about that. Cause like, it's just like the method that like, celebrities use, like artists. Like, if you get girls to like you, the guys will like you too, because wherever there's girls, there's guys. That is method as fuck. Those words of Stilbos are equally those of the Stoic. He too carries his valuables intact through cities burnt to ashes, for he is contented with himself. This is the line he draws as the boundaries for his happiness. In case you imagine that we Stoics are the only people who produce noble sayings, let me tell you something. See that you put this down to my credit, even though I have already settled my accounts with you for today. Epicurus himself, who has nothing good to say for Stilbo, has uttered a statement quite like that one of Stilbo's. Any man, he says, who does not think that what he has is more than ample is an unhappy man, even if he is the master of the whole world. Or if you prefer to see it expressed like this, the point being that we should be ruled not by the actual words used, but by the sense of them. A man is unhappy a man is unhappy though he reign the world over, if he does not consider himself supplementary happy. To show you, indeed, that these are sentiments of a universal character, prompted evidently by nature herself, you will find the following verse in a comic poet. Wow, because he is low-key right about that. To show you indeed that these are sentiments of a universal character, promoted evidently by nature, you will find the following verse in a comic poet. Not happy he who thinks himself not so. The author of this quotation is, wait, who's the author then? What the fuck? What difference does it make after all what your position in life, as if you dislike it yourself? What about so and so, you may ask, who became rich is such a despicable manner, or such and such a person who gives orders to a great many people, but it has the mercy of a great many more. Supposing they say they are happy, while their own opinions to this effect make them happy, it does not make any difference what a man says. What matters is how he feels, and not how he feels on one particular day, but how he feels at all times. But you have no need to fear that so valuable a thing may fall into unworthy hands. Only the wise man is content with what is his. All foolishness suffers the burden of dissatisfaction with itself. Okay, that's a good point. A lot of this is just about how we are dissatisfied with everything that we do, no matter fucking what, and that we're low-key some cooked with it. Okay, so we finished this letter today. I think we're on letter 11 now. But this part, low-key, was a banger. We're gonna put that shit on. Wait up. We're gonna low-key stop this stream. Let's hit it low.